に MLB 開幕戦、東京シリーズが幕を開けました。カブス対ドジャースの一戦は、日米のファンの熱狂を巻き起こし、空港では到着した選手たちを一目見ようと、ターミナルが大混雑。スマホを構える余裕もないほどの人だかりの中、あのバスに翔平や由伸が乗っているかも。と、ファンが手を振る光景が広がりました。しかし、実はそれはテレビスタッフのバスだったというオチも。さらに、試合前には、大谷翔平が主催した夕食会でのエピソードや、山本由伸の投球についても、注目が集まっています。その模様を、日本語字幕付きでお届けします。
How does that feel, and do you think that that's going to be the biggest key to you staying healthy and dominating all season?
I think so. Like changed up some of the routine stuff. The changes have helped so far. Like I feel really good recovery-wise. Like I threw 2 days ago, and the recovery right now is really good. So hopefully I can keep going through all season.
And just out of curiosity, just kind of the baseball nerd, like what exactly is it? Is it kind of a shortened extension to the plate, or kind of what exactly is the difference?
Stuff like I'm not like I think sometimes when I would land and be late, I'd be so ripped out, like landing with my spine curved, that it'd just be like a lot of stress on my arms. So I'm just trying to stay more neutral when I land and not be so overextended. And it's not something I have to even think about a lot. It's just such a small adjustment, and I've been feeling good with it so far. So
awesome. Well, Tyler, thank you so much. We're gonna have a great year, and I appreciate it, man. Take it easy, Tyler.
Seeing the fans, seeing the support, feeling the vibes and the electricity of it, it's pretty close.
Yeah, have you ever seen a park fill up 2 hours before game time like this?
No. You know what's crazy is like even in our practice, like it was filled, and I was like, oh my gosh. Expedition games, same thing. So it's pretty amazing to see, and it's pretty fun to be a part of. I don't want to spill it. Whatever. Slow dripping a splitter right now. I'm learning thought process, grips, different types of grips, how it's coming out with Kirby. We talk a lot about it, but that's one of the things that I'm trying to implement in my arsenal. But other than that, it's just having a fun time with them and getting to know them more and more, and just being able to go out there and do our job together as well.
To think that Anthony Bonda could get any better than last year, just watch out, MLB. But gotta ask you about Tokyo. We saw you, was it the Pokemon, like, what was that whole experience like, and just kind of what was that about? It was awesome.
Yeah, that was a dream come true. You know, going to the headquarters and seeing the CEO and meeting him, an amazing person, greeted us well. And just the inside the headquarters was amazing. I felt like a little kid. I was probably more excited than my son, but no, we had a great time, and a lot of it was just, you know, understanding and seeing all the commitment that goes into it. I know it's a cartoon. I know it's, you know, part of a trading card company and all this other good stuff, but it made my childhood a lot of fun, and I'm sure it's touched a lot of different people as far as childhood, collecting, watching, having a good time with it. But just being able to see all that in the background and understanding how it flows, that was pretty awesome. That was pretty spectacular.
Best cartoon theme song ever, easily. I mean, you can't top that. Do you have a favorite Pokemon character?
Yeah, Gengar.
Gengar?
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, favorite thing you've eaten in Tokyo so far?
A lot of sushi. I probably had the best ramen in my life. I'm sure there's a lot of great spots, more better than what I had, but that was awesome. But yeah, like we had a team dinner, and that was a fresh tuna that was caught, I think they said 2 days beforehand, so it's pretty fresh. That was amazing. I'm not a big sushi guy, but it was pretty good. Like I gotta say.
That's awesome. Well, you're such a Dodgers Nation fan favorite. Everyone loves you. What's your message to Dodgers fans? We're gonna wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning to support you guys.
Thank you for always being there for us. Thank you for supporting. I hope you guys enjoy the games. We're going to do everything we can to get those W's, and I can't wait to get back to LA and you know, get to that ring ceremony and experience it with all you guys.
Awesome stuff. Hey, Monster, you're coming for Anthony Bonda. Appreciate the time, and have a great opening series, my man.
I appreciate it.
All right, man.
Hey guys, I'm here at the Pokemon headquarters. I mean, this is kind of cool. I wanted to show you guys, but like, look at the different faces. I mean, like, look at this guy right here with the little ears and everything. Oh, right there, sorry. I've been a big fan since I was a little kid, so this is like a dream come true for me. Pretty excited about it.
You know, he's throwing really hard. His fastball, his splitter's pretty good. I guess his swing miss on his slider. I thought it was good. You know, obviously had a couple of walks, but overall I got out there, gave us 3 strong innings, got us off to a good start tonight.
He gave up 5. Is there any reason? What do you think?
I think the Cubs just did a good job, you know, staying in the zone. You know, he'll go back, he'll put in his work in his bullpen, be ready for his next start.
Also, the Cubs, but didn't a swing for the hit streak there for tonight. So also, you know, what do you think about the hit streak there?
Yeah, I think they just did a good job managing the zone. They had a good approach and, you know, made us come in the zone. We just, you know, had some misfires. Yeah, I expect him to come back next time and, you know, dominate the zone.
Did you see that he was nervous at all about this?
You know, I think there's a lot of emotions, a little overwhelming at his debut. So, yeah, maybe a little bit. He seemed pretty locked into me, you know, once the games came on. You know, he was totally fine, I thought. So I think before maybe the first pitch a little bit, but I think he locked it in just fine. Yeah, I think, you know, Mark led that meeting. Just told him to attack, be himself and attack. And, you know, credit to Doc leaving him in there. I think that's better, you know, going forward for him.
Well, what did we learn about the team in these 2 games? Anything?
I mean, we're having a great time together. You know, seeing Tokyo, we're playing good baseball. This can be a fun year.
Winning twice without routine training, do something for the team?
Yeah, I mean, obviously those are MVPs. You want them in the lineup every night. But we have a lot of talent here. A lot of guys that can step up and fill in and still produce. So, you know, we're fortunate to have that depth. That's only going to carry us, you know, throughout the whole year.
You ready to get home?
Yeah, you know, I've had a great time, but yeah, ready to get home, see my kids and stuff.
What would your memories and takeaways be from this series years from now, or whatever it may be?
Yeah, I think, you know, just being able to play in front of the fans here, it's been amazing. They've been, you know, super supportive. These crowds have been great. But yeah, just the overall experience, hanging out with, you know, teammates, families, playing good baseball. It'll be a trip I'll remember for forever.
How would you describe this whole entire week or weekend, whatever, that you guys have been here to experience Tokyo and come out here with 2 wins?
It's been fun. It's been a unique, one-of-a-kind experience. We've all enjoyed every single second of it. You know, it's we're thankful to be able to do this. It's a lot, but we're thankful to be able to do it. And you know, I think now that it's over, we're all ready to get back home.
Max, I saw a crazy stat. You're one of 4 players in MLB history to have a hit in 5 different countries. I know that's random, but just being able to play in different cultures, different places, what is that cool like for you?
I think it's just a blessing, you know. Being here with the Dodgers for as long as I've been, you get a lot of opportunities being the team that we have, and to me, that's just a blessing. You know, I'm very thankful that I'm able to be a part of all of these events that we've been doing. I'm thankful I was able to be a part of Korea last year, be a part of Japan this year, be a part of Mexico when we did it back in 2018. It's just, you know, it's a blessing to be able to do that. You're talking about trying to grow the game of baseball, experience these different cultures, and it's just really cool to be able to do it. The stat, like you said, it's a random one, but it's fun. But to me, it just speaks to how much of a blessing it is that I've been able to play in all these different places.
Did you know you had that stat?
Well, I didn't, but I did because when I went on a podcast last night and they were talking about it. That's the only reason I knew about it. I had no idea before they mentioned it last night. Right after the game, they were talking about it, and so it was in the back of my head when I got that hit, and I was like, that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's kind of one of those. I'm not gonna say it's a meaningless stat, but it's kind of a meaningless stat.
Nerves with Roki in his debut?
Yeah, there might be a little bit. I mean, it's his first big league start. I know he's pitching at home in Japan, but like it's still his first big league start. And yesterday he made a couple comments to a couple guys that he might have been a little bit nervous coming into today, and that's to be expected, man. It's this is the big leagues. It's always going to be the top level. It's always going to be different. And I still thought he went out there and competed, and that to me is what I take out of that start. I know he was a little erratic with the command, but I saw him compete. I didn't see him deflate on the mound. I didn't see him give up. I saw him compete, and that to me means everything. At least, for me personally, seeing a guy compete means everything, and that's really what I look for. The stuff is obviously there, and he's going to iron that out. Once he gets over the nerves, I feel like the command's going to come back. He's never been a guy that's that erratic. He may walk a couple guys here and there, but he's never been that erratic, and so it's just I see the competitiveness, and to me that's what excites me.
All three of the Japanese-born players on your team, Sasaki, Shohei, Yoshi, to be able to perform, the pressure to play here and perform well at this level, and they all three did it. What can you say to their character for being able to do it?
Yeah, with the exception of Roki, I wouldn't have noticed anything different out of those guys. And, this is obviously a lot. Come back to your home country, play in this type of atmosphere. It's a lot on those guys, but I didn't really see them falter that much. They were just who they've always been. They were, happy-go-lucky in the clubhouse. They were just, they were typical guys. And to me, that was pretty cool to see that, because this is a big moment for them, and it at no point to me did it ever feel like it got too big for any of them.
To leave here 2-0 without Freddie, without Mookie, you still got Tyler and Blake to go back when the season starts, in LA. What does that say about this team just so far, and how deep and strong you guys are?
Yeah, it was it was good. It was good for us to see that. It's you get two gut punches before the season even starts. Mookie's not going to be able to play, and then he's not going to be here. And then Freddie, 20 minutes before the game. I think whenever you guys found out is when we found out as a team, and that was a big gut punch. But that's why we have the team that we have. We're built to withstand this kind of stuff, and I think we proved that. We went out there and played two really good games, played solid defense. We pitched the ball. We had some key hits here and there, and that's really all you need to do.
Yo soy Los Angeles.
Okay.
Were you seeing the ball really well here? What did you see in these two games? It seemed like you were really tracking it even yesterday.
No, to be honest, I wasn't seeing the ball very good at all. I went 0 for 5, if you didn't notice, last night, and I only got one hit. And I happened to hit a pitch that was outside the strike zone, and I was able to get the barrel to it. But, glad that we got the win. We left Korea splitting the series, and here we are leaving Japan winning a series, obviously a lot better than not winning. So, really looking forward now to going home, getting some much-needed rest, playing those 3 exhibition games, and then really looking forward to the opening week, which is going to be extremely special for us.
What does these 2 wins tell you about the team, just in this short sample, even winning these 2 without Mookie and Freddie?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, it speaks about the depth that we have in our lineup, but also how good our pitching is. We were able to win both games without throwing Tyler or throwing Blake, and then obviously our bullpen without, it's not necessarily complete without Kopi or EP. So, it just speaks volumes about our depth, and obviously, it feels great because we won the series, but at the same time, it's just 2 games. So, we're just glad we got off with the right foot, and like I said, really looking forward to getting home now.
At the end of last year, it was you and Miguel stepping in for Mookie and Freddie at those respective positions. What does it say about you 2 guys to be as prepared to do it on basically 24 hours notice?
we're veterans, man. We've been around the game for a long time, and we're also professionals. We know that our role is to be ready 24/7 to be called upon, and of course for me, moving around is nothing new. I've throughout, last 2 years, last year, and then this year, getting some reps in spring training and getting some reps here in the exhibition games. I've grown to become really comfortable at first base. So in my previous years, I wasn't very comfortable there. I wasn't really used to moving away from the ball to cover the bag and things like that. But the more reps I've gotten, the more comfortable I've been. So it's something that I'm not. It doesn't put me in an uncomfortable position if I get a late notice like I did last night. So I know my role, and my role is to be ready in 7 different positions whenever needed. And first base was the one needed this time, and I'm just glad I didn't mess up for the team.
Okay, what do you think of Roki tonight? Obviously, a lot of nerves and pressure on you in this country.
For sure. Stuff is there, electric. He showed pretty good composure early in the game. He ran into a little bit of trouble there in that last inning that he threw. Kind of lost feel for the strike zone for a little bit, but then he got the too much needed strikeouts whenever he needed it. So, that tells you how good this kid is. Even when he doesn't feel super comfortable out there, and he's struggling with command, he still can, he can still execute and get much needed swings and misses. And he threw a lot of sliders tonight. He didn't throw that many in spring training, so it was really good to see. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what he has over the year.
As a rookie, for Dave to let him stay in there after that, 3 walks and walk in the run, and then he strikes out the side, gets out of it. What is that going to do dividends long term for his confidence and for the rest of his rookie campaign?
I think it's going to be good for him. It shows him that he can compete at the highest level, and even when he doesn't have it, he looked for other avenues. Like I said, he used the slider a lot tonight. He didn't have great command of the split. His heater got lost for a second there, but we weren't sure what he had with the slider, but he had a great feel for that pitch tonight, and I'm sure that this is only going to build his confidence, and he's going to, once he get that second start where he's a little bit more built up and he can go longer in the game, he's going to be lights out.
And for you, you're one of the players who really embraced this culture, embraced Tokyo, embraced Japan, and everything that was. Because of that, you got a huge reaction from the crowd on your homer. What are your memories and takeaways from this series going to be, especially maybe 5-10 years from now, whenever it may be, when you look back on it?
Obviously, the passion of the fans, something that I got to experience during the All-Star Series in 2018, but playing alongside Roki, Shohei, Yoshinobu, and then also seeing Seiya and Shota on the other side, how passionate and how much they love their players. It kind of reminds you of, playing baseball back home in Latin America, Puerto Rico, Dominican, Venezuela. Those are really passionate countries as well for their baseball. And as far as like memories and things, I think the most special one for me out of this trip was my daughter seeing snow for the first time ever this morning. We've built some incredible core memories, and I know that for my wife and myself, it's a trip that we'll never forget, and I'm pretty sure my 4-year-old is never going to forget, coming to Japan, going to Disney Sea a couple days ago, and then seeing snow for the first time. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a pretty memorable memory for her.
Alex, you ever see this many people in their seats 2 hours before the game like this?
No, I've never seen, what was it, like, once he said 15,000 people in the stands for a practice?
Yeah.
I think last year, we had about 2,000 or 3,000 in the stands. So people of Japan, they love baseball, and you can see it, you can feel it, And for me, it's, you know, that's very motivating. You know, it's awesome to come to a country that, you know, I've never been to, but also feel super welcomed. So yeah, it's fun for me. I'm gonna put on a show tonight if I get in. Tomorrow if I get in, hey, I'm gonna bring the energy regardless.
Always gonna bring that energy. You know, you pitch in the biggest of the big games, right? Just feel like it's bigger than a regular season game, maybe less than and just like it's so historic with the fans and Otani, Yamamoto, and Roki, everyone being here, and you guys being defending champions. Just the electricity in here, just palpable.
Yeah, and that's the standard, right? Yeah. That's what we bring every single night, and we're very passionate. We wear our hearts on our sleeves, and yeah, it's a lot of respectable players that, you know, are going to be future Hall of Famers. So I never take it for granted, and you know, I love playing for the Dodgers.
Yeah, it's a kind of a little nerdy question I want to ask you. Induced vertical break, something that you're one of the best at in the league. Do you pay attention to that stuff? And yeah, you do.
Yeah, absolutely,
okay.
Absolutely. And for me, there's like it tells me like where my mechanics are, how my pitches are playing in the zone, where I need to throw them. It's definitely something that I do look at, right? And in 23, that vert was down. I was cutting the ball. My mechanics were all out of whack. So it was nice to like go back to watch video and see like what I was doing right to make that the vert the way it was and whatnot. So yeah, it's definitely something I do keep an eye on, and yeah, it's
almost got to feel like a superpower for you though, right? To kind of have that movement. And last year you had your best year, really. I mean, just the appearances, the ERA, everything. I mean, I think you held opponents at 148 batting average. I mean, you were incredible last year. What do you need to do to just build on that and have an even better year this year?
Yeah, I think it's just going out and competing, right? Not trying to be too far ahead of myself, you know, and it's getting one out at a time, right? I come into games where you get 1 out, 2 out, or 3 outs. So it's never, I try to never be too far ahead, and it's not, you know, a high school coach had told me don't ride the highs too high and the lows too low, right? My routine, how I go about my business, you know, it's focused on, you know, when Doc calls, wants me in the game, I'm prepared, I'm ready, I'm gonna give it everything I got.
And Alex, you go viral like almost every game with your fire, your passion. People make gifts and just like the electricity. Like I have to ask you, like, what do you like drink before games, or like Red Bulls, or I mean, do you have a routine, or just fire just comes from within?
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit of everything, right? Definitely, I have my Red Bull in the first, I have my Red Bull in the fifth, right? It's a roughly
original flavor, or?
Sugar-free.
Sugar-free, okay.
But it's like 180 milligrams of caffeine. They're like the 8-ounce ones, and you know, but it's like at the same time, I love adrenaline. I've loved adrenaline since I was a little kid, riding motorcycles, you know, fast cars. That's me. So when a crowd of, you know, 50,000, right, are in the stands at Dodger Stadium, I love it. I feed off that energy. So yeah, man, it's definitely fun. But I'll say this. I said it a little bit ago that it's like my energy is always towards the Dodgers, right? It's never like towards opponents or anything like that. I get fired up because I want to get off the mound so the boys can hit. You know, I don't. You know, it's never towards the other team. So I always try to keep it respectful in that sense. But at the same time, you know, I love this game, man.
Yeah, because when I saw the fan section with the trumpets and the flags, you were the first guy I thought of. Like, Alex Vest would feed off this. Do you like it? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
It's definitely different. When I was out on the mound, like the crowd had settled down, but they were still going. So it was something that was, you don't really see that or have that too often in the States. So yeah, definitely it's a very unique opportunity, and I can't wait to go tonight.
Awesome. Last question. What was your favorite thing you've done so far in Tokyo? With food, just kind of, I've seen you out and about, just what really stands out?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's like just like driving around the city, right? Opposite lanes, cars drive on with, you know, right side drive, like very unique. It's different, you know, but we had ramen yesterday. Barnes and I, we went out with our wives. That was a super cool experience. the shopping. We've done a couple little small touristy things, and yeah, man, it's just fun to explore. I mean, my wife and I, we've been going on different coffee dates and whatnot. So yeah, it's definitely been special. But it's time to play some baseball.
It's great stuff. Hey, I'm calling now. Alex Vesia All-Star Season 2025. I see it.
All right, let's do it.
Thank you so much, Alex. Appreciate it, man. Take it easy, man.
See you. See you.
ご視聴いただきありがとうございました。チャンネル登録、コメントをお願いいたします。